be an assessor.
Hello. Oh, well, we can both do this at the same time. I am Mei Beth Shepherd. Welcome to So You Want to Be an Assessor.
And I am Caitlin Reeder. Glad to have you back, where we're answering the age-old question of why did you end up getting a master's and how long did it take you?
Oh, well, it took me about 10 years, but I did that on purpose. I was taking as long as possible to get a master's.
Isn't that counterintuitive?
One would think, but no, I took as few classes as possible. So the reason that I was taking forever to get a master's degree in a subject that I don't use for actual work is because I was using college, to pay for mine and my family's insurance. It was a way to get insurance.
Health insurance in America.
Yes.
Kind of the worst.
Yeah, really is problematic. So when you work for yourself, when you're an assessor, you often are working for yourself, and so therefore it does not come with health insurance unless you have a spouse that has a job that offers family insurance.
Like mine.
Yeah. But when you work with your spouse who is also an assessor, then you don't get insurance.
That's right. So you're actually part of a pair of assessors.
I do have a husband that I occasionally work with as an assessor, but I actually started working with him, and we both were doing this assessment thing.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Are there any other married assessors out there?
Yes. They're not like on every street corner, which is fortunate because that's not where we hang out as assessors. But there is another married couple, and I think there's another up and coming one.
Oh, yes.
Yes, there's
that's
another
right.
one who's going to be
just
starting.
Met.
Yeah, he has been an assessor, and his wife is going to join him doing assessments. But right now, there is another couple that was, they may have been assessors for longer than Michael and I have been. I don't know their history, but anyway, are we sharing names?
I don't know. He's still Mr. Dr. Shepherd to me. Which is a nickname he hates. So it's one of my favorite reasons because he doesn't like using the doctor title even though he has the PhD.
He does. He has a PhD.
He
didn't get it to get health insurance though. No. So let me go back to the health insurance. So we discovered we have a daughter who's currently out of school and supporting herself. It's great. But she was in college and there was an opportunity for her to get health insurance through her university. And it cost like $2,000 for the year for her. And I was like, can you buy me insurance? And, because at the time, I think I was still working in a company. And so, but whatever. So we realized that there was insurance available through colleges. And it's not bad insurance. It's pretty good. So I took many years to go through. I started at my local college, community college. That's what they're called. And so I started there, and the rule was you had to be taking a 3-hour class working towards some degree, and 3 hours a semester, and then you could sign up for the health insurance. So that was great. I did that for like 2 years. I took classes like speech. They didn't have basket weaving. I looked, but another friend that was doing this as well signed up for photography classes. So yeah, lots of cool options. Well, I did that for like 2 years. And then that community college decided that they were no longer going to provide insurance to students. It just wasn't enough students taking advantage of it. And so they weren't supporting their bills. So they quit offering it. Well, funnily enough, I quit going to school there. So then I went to another state university, and that for like 2 or 3 years. And again, I think the rules were I had to take 6 hours of graduate classes or 9 hours of undergraduate class. And so I was taking 6 hours because I'm lazy whenever possible. And so got to take some classes there. Again, working towards a degree. So I was working towards a master of business science. I don't know, something. Anyway, again, the school decided that they were going to quit selling insurance to support families. They would support the student. I could still buy student insurance. But my husband still needed insurance. And so it would be silly for both of us to go take classes. So I quit going there, and I signed up for a larger university in the state university that required all of their international students to take insurance, to get insurance. So therefore, I figured that they're not going to run out of people taking this insurance. And so I was able to take all the classes online. It was great. So I did that, and it took me another 3 or 4. I was able to stretch it out to another 3 or 4 years. So that was like 4, 5, 6. So it took me almost 10 years.
Wow.
On purpose to get a degree. But that meant that for 10 years, I was paying insurance for a student and a student's spouse is all we had to pay, which was a quarter of the cost of the horrible insurance that I could get through the marketplace.
Small business.
As a small business, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
even with tuition and books, it was still mathematically cheaper that way?
Yes. It was mentally a hassle to be having to do schoolwork. And of course, in graduate school, you also get to do lots of group projects.
Oh no, I hate those.
Yeah. Now the good thing is that many times in grad school, the people that are there want to be there and they want to learn. They want to, I was fortunate in that I could take a lot of classes and stuff I already knew. I have a history of databases and computers and some of that stuff. So a lot of it was normal to me, and I didn't have to learn a lot.
Just enough
to, and so, but it was a lot of mental anxiety to take 6 hours a semester plus do a full-time assessment job. So
yeah, I don't think I would have the mental fortitude to do any of that.
Yeah, it's a thing. It was a thing. It worked for me when I got the degree and my husband got old enough to get Medicare. Then I was like, I'm done. I could get another degree and I could continue and just buy myself insurance. But no, we will pay more for insurance now, and we are, and it's not as good and it's painful. But I'm not taking classes. Which is a plus. It's a really, really good thing.
Absolutely. You have more time to do fun things, hopefully.
Yeah, like podcasts.
Like podcasts.
Here we are. I know. Yes. Okay, so that was a very long, drawn-out story, but it is a deal when you are an assessor. You have to be aware that it doesn't come with insurance. Mm-hmm. Does not come with insurance, and so you want to get creative in ways to problem solve.
Which I think is kind of the difference between us who are like third-party assessors versus like a state assessor.
Right. Assessors, so many of the states have assessors that work for them, and they go out to the laboratories in their states. Texas has some of those. Texas also hires third-party assessors.
Just because it's so big and they've got travel restrictions too.
Yes. Texas has they can assess some of the labs that are out of state, but they can't charge out of state laboratories for the travel costs of people that work for the state. It's weird. So they subcontract all of those lab assessments.
Which means all of us third-party assessors are actually our own small business owner. We are our own boss a lot of the time. We have our own LLCs. We have to make these hard decisions, such as, what is economically beneficial for us and feasible, such as going to college for health insurance.
Right.
Or,
do we take the mental hit of doing that? Or do we, take a financial hit of getting insurance another way?
Absolutely. Or we also get to make some fun choices in that we can say no to laboratories if they would like to have us back.
Right. If there's a laboratory that we've been to and didn't have a good time, whether it was a personality clash or whether we just didn't like the way the laboratory was run or done.
Or they didn't pay us.
Very few times that's occurred.
Yeah.
Very, very few times that's occurred.
It's always so strange when it happens, though.
Yeah, it is. I don't remember that happening. Has that happened to you?
No. They still have some time before I get other people involved to get myself paid. But
okay.
It is something that is on my mind.
Frustrating.
We also get to be our own HR.
Yes,
which is super fun.
Uh-huh.
I don't know about you, but my HR policies are very lax.
I'm not sure I even have a written HR policy. I mean, I most definitely fraternize with the other employees at my company.
It's your husband.
It is my husband. Spoiler alert. So yeah, we definitely sleep together and everything. So the other assessor couple, one of his jokes is that I hear that the assessors are sleeping with each other. They are. Just saying it. Put it right out there. So.
Oh yeah. Fun.
So some of the business part of running an assessor. You said that we have an LLC. We have an LLC. You have a separate LLC.
My LLC is a subcontractor to yours.
That's true. And we have offered to be subcontractors on you if you win contracts separately.
If I need your help, which is fantastic.
Yeah. So it's. Incestuous is the wrong term, but yeah, we work with each other 9 times out of 10.
It's a small community, and so a lot of times we know each other. And anytime that there is a new player, like I was, 8-9 years ago, everyone wants to know who the new person is and wants to get to know them and see if they want to work with them, can work with them, what's their strengths, what their specialty is.
Right.
What their drink is. I got that one a lot. They're like, oh, you're an assessor. You must have a drink.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah. I know. Mine's gone to apple juice these days.
Apple juice, really?
Yeah.
My answer used to be margaritas all day.
Yeah, well, that's
nowadays. I'm
to the point where we're all keeping track of when National Margarita Day is. It's also
have it on my calendar.
It's important to know these things.
Assessor holiday, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, exactly. So we keep track of that. What other business decisions things? I mean, you have to have somebody to help you with if you're not a mathematician.
Oh my gosh, accounting.
Oh,
the bane of my existence, honestly. I have a business minor, and I actually have taken several accounting classes. And you know what those accounting classes taught me? That I didn't want to be in charge of that. I do not want any part of having to formulate Excel, which is the way I was taught to do it, was in Excel.
Oh my gosh.
I know, exactly. I'm like, who does that? There are better softwares out there.
Yeah, there are crazy good software. So yes, when I first started working with my husband, I was offered the opportunity to do the books the books to keep track of, sending invoices and tracking payments and keeping track of all that sort of stuff. And we had another good friend that helped at CPA, and she did our taxes for us. And she said, you need to quit doing the books because you're not very good at it. I'm like, well, that's because I really don't want to be. I have no desire to learn how to do much of in the way of accounting. So we now use a bookkeeper, and we use QuickBooks. I mean, not that I'm gonna
sponsor us.
You could sponsor us. Yes,
we use it a lot.
Yeah, we use it even with a bookkeeper to use it. I still send the invoices and it tracks stuff and send exactly. People want an estimate of what it's going to cost for you to come out, so you have to have an idea of how you're going to do that.
You have to have an idea of what you're worth as well.
Oh,
and
the
cost of certain things. So I don't know about you, but I always upcharge if I'm going to somewhere where it's going to be snowy and it's going to be heckin' cold. I always upcharge just a little bit for the inconvenience of snow travel.
That's true. That's true.
You have to go slower, and you never know if the day you go is going to be a blizzard. And you may have to rebook everything.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Which has happened to me now twice.
Well, you do live in the Great North.
I do. So I have some experience, which I think is why they end up finding me. Is my snow experience is slightly more approachable.
Yes, you know more about traveling with snow than I do. I am not good at that. I just don't do it very often.
That's fair.
But yes, so you have to know how you're going to track those things, what you're going to charge for your time, your worth, and you can always change it. I mean, we when we're creating quotes and that sort of thing, we personally prefer to do. My husband would probably be pissed at me for saying this sort of stuff, but too bad. We want to give you information about how we have done as assessors. So we use fixed price. We give a laboratory. We will come and do your assessment, and this is the cost. Totally inclusive of all of our time, our travel expenses. If we can do it for less than that, then yes. But if it takes more, then we will learn how to bid correctly, or put it in a quote. So that's one way to do it. You could also have clients reimburse you, and just tell them, okay, I charge this much an hour, and I'm going to charge you for all the hours that I spend on your. That means, like lawyers and do that sort of thing, and you have to track your hours.
Right.
I am not into doing that, so we don't.
It's very difficult.
It is. I mean, it's a thing.
It's a thing, and I mean,
some
assessor,
people want to do it.
Every business is different,
right?
So obviously, you talk to your assessor, find out what work style works for them, and don't be afraid to ask questions about that sort of thing either, because I mean, we are in the business of science, which means that as far as the business stuff is concerned, it's not the priority. It is a priority, but it is not
because we do have to pay bills at the back end of stuff. That we still use air conditioning.
Yeah,
I personally use a lot of air conditioning, but we
have a home office. Not that I see it.
Occasionally we do drive-bys. I know my dog's name. So anyway, those are some of the other fun things that we'll have to talk about, just that you don't remember what's in your house.
Yeah, true.
So, teaser for the next one, I guess. I don't know. How are we doing time-wise?
I think actually we're doing pretty okay on time.
Okay. Got another question or topic?
We have about 30 seconds left, actually. So how about we do this with if you like our content, please like and subscribe on all the channels available. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, So check us out on all those places if you want to be up to date of when we post things, because that'll be the place to see them. As always, push the bell notification if you want notifications for like the 10 of you who are watching. And if you have questions that you would like us to hit, add them to the comments below in the doobly-doo.
Down there.
And
somewhere. We'll figure it out.
We will.
And until next time, bye!